Hi, welcome. Nice to see you again. We're doing some Major Arcana today. We're having a walk through the Hierophant. It's number 5 in the Major Arcana. Comes after the Emperor. And the Hierophant is basically our inner teacher. The Hierophant has no gender and represents and embodies learned wisdom and knowledge. It's that inner voice we have asking, are you sure you're making the right decision? It's the intuition that stops us making impulsive decisions, stops us from making fools of ourselves. And the Hierophant is always asking us to check our information, to make an informed decision, and to know all the facts. It's divine intuition, straight from source. In some tarot decks, the Hierophant's called the High Priest. Hierophant gives us confidence and clarity in decision-making. It's the archetype of high status in religion, spirituality, the highest of any order, any religion or belief. The Hierophant is only interested in truth, facts, fairness, and the highest good for all. So, let's have a look at some of the Hierophant cards that I've picked out of different decks here. Here he's called the High Priest, and he's advising this couple. It's like an orthodox, religious master, the highest teacher of the church here. He's connected to the divine. He gets his information straight from the divine. We have all these written thoughts here coming into his crown chakra. So he's giving this couple good advice about life, about children, about, how they should be behaving, and how they become good citizens, sort of thing. Rounded, knowledgeable citizens. So he has everybody's well-being at heart. So you can be a very religious person, but it's usually about dogma and rules and morals and that sort of thing. And that's not necessarily always religious. So here the High Priest, the Hierophant, is called Wisdom. Now he's obviously some sort of teacher, a monk of the highest order, teaching the folks in the countryside with his little faithful dog there following him. He has his book of knowledge here with him. And he's looking towards the sun as well. The sun's shining on their little house there. He's very benevolent, and he's always very welcome in people's houses because they know he's going to give them good advice so they can be the best people they can be. This Hierophant has a rather papal appearance, Orthodox Church appearance, Pope. He has the staff of the highest religious order. He's a great authority. He has lots of knowledge, lots of wisdom, giving lots of guidance. He's connected to the divine. He's giving out divine light. He's tuned into the divine. This one is sitting on a little throne here. He's also Orthodox, some sort of religious leaders giving, listening to some people here who are asking him very important questions. They've come to him for his knowledge and his wisdom and his benevolence, and they want to be blessed and they want to be imbibed with knowledge. And they know he has a straight connection to the divine, and he's revered for that. And it's interesting, he's got cross keys here. So he's got the key to the kingdom of heaven, if he needs that. So that's a connection there to the kingdom of heaven. This one also is a sort of an orthodox religion. He has the eye of the all-seeing creator above his crown chakra. He has two pillars there behind him. That's more of a Hebrew tradition leader here, I think. And the pillars of wisdom, I think, and you go through there and you become very knowledgeable and wise, and he has people kneeling at his feet, and his throne has got some sort of human faces there. So that means he is human, but he is connected to the divine. So he's in between. He occupies that in-between space between heaven and earth. And his seat is raised up, and there's the doves of peace. So he's trying to keep the peace in his domain. And people come to him for advice. This one is waving at his people here. This Hierophant. He's obviously a dragon. And he's waving to his dragon folk. Also, he has the two pillars here. These are the pillars of the Solomon's temple. Same as here. This is sort of a Hebrew Kabbalah influence here. Yeah, these are the two pillars of Solomon's temple. So he is actually in Solomon's. He's teaching out of Solomon's temple, the very oldest, the first temple of the in Jerusalem. So he's a very old, established religious figure here, and he's very benevolently waving to his folk, and he's blessing them. And he's blessing them, he's giving them blessings from the divine, so they can be reassured that everything's fine, and he's looking after them. And they are not alone. They don't have to do this on their own. He's there to help. Again, he is called the High Priest here. This is an interesting dressed one again. This is from the Tower of the Cat People. It's sort of an Inca vibe going on, and again we have the emeralds, the same as we did with the what was it we did before that? Was it the High Priest? No, the Emperor. Same as the Emperor, he's adorned with emeralds here. It's from the Inca, the Maya kingdom. They have very interesting staff. Obviously, they have a different religion to the current religions. But again, he's the bridge between the divine, between heaven and earth. Benevolent to his people, ruling with his in a very spiritual manner here. Very spiritual. His advice and his thoughts are coming straight from the divine. He's always divinely inspired. The last Hierophant is interesting. That's like a skeleton. And he's holding a rose. It's the rose of love. And he's looking at his books and he's studying. And this study has been going on since time immemorial. He's wearing all sorts of paraphernalia. He's got a little sword there. He's got a cross. He's got like a green, like a hydra really, with the, I think that's the hydra with the snakes coming out of her head. So, and he's got the is that pentacle on his head? No, pentacle on his throne anyway. 5-pointed Star of David. So yeah, he's a mix of religions. He encompasses all the religions. He's not specific in a religion. He's the connection to the divine. And this one is very wise because you can tell he's been studying a long time. He's turned into a skeleton. And the learning is still going on. The Hierophant represents never-ending knowledge. Knowledge that we can harness from the universal vibrations that are coming down from heaven, or whatever we call it. So, the Akashic records, records from time immemorial, records from the past, the present, and the future are all embodied in the Hierophant. And they can all be embodied within us. We just have to dig a little bit deeper than the Hierophant because they've been through so much experience and knowledge. They're way ahead of us, really, of us mere mortals. So that's the Hierophant. When the Hierophant comes up in your reading, that means you're connected to your own inner teacher. You're connected to the divine. You can commune with the divine. You can ask your inner teacher what's going on. You can meditate. You can go within and get insight and information from your higher consciousness. So I hope you enjoyed this little talk about the Hierophant, or also called the High Priest. And I hope to see you again in the next reading from the Major Arcana, which will be, I think, the Lovers? Yeah, it will be the Lovers. So they're up next, whenever I can fit it in. And perhaps when it's not so hot. Extremely hot at the moment, so I'm having to speak slowly and think about what I'm saying. I have to think very carefully what I'm saying. So thanks for listening, and take good care until next time. Bye-bye.